What's going on, YouTube? Ooh, my camera looks a little angled. What's going on, YouTube? We back at it again with another banger. All right, so today, you know what we talking about? As you can see by the title, we talking about chart patterns, the almighty chart patterns, right? So we've already covered candlestick patterns. Now it's time to talk about a big brother. You know what I mean? Chart patterns. So chart patterns are a fundamental part of technical analysis. Patterns can be distinctive formations created by the movements of price of an underlying on a chart. And really, when it comes to personal use, one of the biggest things I use when it comes to trading, because there's nothing better than knowing how to read price and price patterns, chart patterns, candlestick patterns. They give you exactly what you need out of price, especially if you combine it with things like support and resistance, quarter point levels, market momentum, market sentiment. Ooh, you're golden. All right, so just to talk about a few of these here, right? We have our reversal patterns, right? Like a double top, head and shoulders, favorites right here. Rising wedge, triple top, triple bottoms, expanding triangle, falling wedge, inverted head and shoulders. Look at some of these continuation patterns here. Bearish flag, bearish pennant, bullish flag. There's a few to name, right? So if you're not familiar with chart patterns, you know, I'm always going to say, first thing you want to do, Google Forex chart pattern cheat sheet. It's going to pop up something just like this. Study this, learn this, embrace this. I'm telling you guys, this right here, this information right here, understanding these things right here can take your trading game to a whole nother level. And of course, you know me, I always got a book recommendation. So let me see. I should really start looking these up beforehand. I have a certain book that I really enjoyed, that I first started. It is The Chart Patterns by Thomas Bull-Kawas. I don't want to butcher this man's name. Bull-Kiwasi. Looks something like this. Let's see. Looks something like this. I really enjoyed this book. Now, there may or may not be better books on chart patterns. That's for you to decide. Just Google chart pattern books, trading chart pattern books. You'll get the information that you're looking for. But other than that, let's get straight into it. Let's dive into this video. First, we're going to talk about a few of these, and then we'll head over to the market, see if we can identify a few. Oh, don't want to click. All right, first one. First banger on the list. We got a double top. Now, a double top is just formed when you see like an M rejection where price is just rejecting twice from a certain area, certain resistance zone, right? So you see first top, boom, comes down, creates your neckline, comes back up to the same price area, rejects again. Now, sometimes you may see it as a Rick rejection. You may see it as a full candle rejection. We'll look at some examples of this later on. I know for sure I'll find some double tops. And then we see price bottom out, right? So, looks like a little M. Look for that M. Double bottom. Same as a double top, except for it's just on the bottom. Looks like a W. You'll typically see these on support zones, right? So you have the first bottom, boom, neckline. Second bottom, little wick rejection. Candles right above that previous close of these candlesticks here. Continued up back to the upside. So you're just looking at this price to come to a certain area and get rejected twice. Bullish pennant. Now, the bullish pennant is a definite banger. One thing I will say this. Oftentimes, for me personally, I'll see a bullish pennant will love a fake out. So you may see a move to downside, right? Then it didn't hold, and then boom, it shoots up. A lot of times you will see it be just like this. Don't get me wrong. These pictures are very important. They definitely explain it. But I will be 100% honest with you. If you're looking for a price to move exactly like this, don't. Right? You may have those cases where it does, but look for a price to have its own little wiggle of fluctuation, right? May break a little back to the downside or come all the way to the top, right? So you want to keep those things in mind. And that's why I always say, right, that knowledge is power, right? Get used to how your market moves, how patterns in your market moves. Whether you're trading commodities, forex pairs, indices, whatever you're trading, get used to how the candlesticks form, the chart patterns form, because they all form a little different, of course, because there's different buyers and sellers in these markets, right? So there's a different sentiment. But pennants are formed after a strong bull run, right? Creates like this little flagpole, and then we see price kind of squeezes between these two support and resistance lines right here, kind of like a little triangle, and we just see it boom, 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 burst out. Bearish pennant, same thing as a bullish pennant, just to the opposite side. You'll see it on the end of a downtrend. Boom, price be coming down. We'll see price bouncing back and forth between two lines here, trend lines here, support and resistance, resistance and support. Boom, boom, boom. Finally gets tired of the BS of bouncing back and forth, falls through. Head and shoulders. Now, this right here is a banger. I would say one of the most sought after chart patterns is the head and shoulders, because it's powerful. There's power in the head and shoulders. Half price coming up, boom, left shoulder comes down, creates your neckline, comes back up, creates your head. We also see, boom, what is this? And if you look at it, boom, boom, double top, comes down, comes back up, boom, boom, double top, comes down, comes back up, boom, boom, double top, comes down. It's power. We're seeing multiple chart patterns in there. Inverted head and shoulders, same thing as the head and shoulders, just on the opposite side, right? So you'll see these on a bearish trend. You'll see this at the bottom, typically near a support zone, right? You'll have a boom, left shoulder comes down, creates neckline, head comes down a little bit further than the left shoulder, back up, comes down, creates the right shoulder, price shoots back up. Excuse me. A lot of water and then doing a lot of talking would be crazy. Ascending channel. So channels are just pretty much a consolidation zone of price moving upwards, right? So we see prices still making higher highs, higher lows, but we see prices kind of consolidating between two areas. So even though it's making higher highs and higher lows, it's not making those type of higher highs and higher lows that really signify a strong uptrend. Ascending channels, in my experience, can really go either way. They can either break to the upside or break to the downside. You just kind of have to pay attention to how market is moving at that time. What's the market sentiment? How's the market forming on the candlestick patterns? And really just look out for a break and retest of these patterns. And we'll talk about that. So down channel, we see prices just boom, right? So this would be kind of like a real world example of what that kind of looks like. Just price kind of constantly moving down, back and forth. Wedges. All right, so when it comes to wedges, you have 4 different type of wedges. 2 are uptrends and 2 are downtrends. One thing that will help you in trading these patterns is remembering the breakout of the pattern is opposite of the direction that price is squeezing in. All right. So you have a rising wedge here, a bearish rising wedge. So price is increasing, right? Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And as it squeezes into this, what we're going to see is price is going to bottom out, right? So it's a bearish rising wedge, because at the end of this, you're going to have some bears, right? This is just going to squeeze and bottom out, really. Bearish rising wedge, right? Kind of have this. Another example here. Boom, 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 boom. Bearish rising wedge is seen in a downtrend where price starts creating higher highs and higher lows and squeezing to a point. From that point, which you have a bearish breakout. Bullish falling wedge. So bullish falling wedge is seen from a preceding downtrend. As price squeezes in, we have our breakout to the upside, right? So we see prices coming bearish, boom, it's squeezing to the downside, boom, squeezing, squeezes here, and then it pops to the upside. One thing I will say about a lot of these patterns is you want to look for the break and retest. So we'll talk a little bit about that, but you want to look for price to break out of said pattern and retest as support. And we'll really get over that when we talk about support and resistance, market structure, things like that. But that break and retest, so important. Bullish falling wedge here. We see prices squeezing, moving to the upside. Now we're getting into triangle patterns. All right, so we have this triangle. Boom, we see prices just squeezing. Now with triangles, specifically this one, because you have 3 different triangle patterns. Price can either go to the upside or downside. It's like one of those things where you want to look for a break and retest, or you want to look for how market momentum is really moving at that point in time. So really important to take that in mind. Keep that in mind. Descending triangle. So descending triangles will typically have a very straight line at the bottom, a trend line, diagonal trend line. So you're seeing price kind of have a solid base of support and then a slanted base of resistance, right? So we're seeing prices boom, 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 boom. And then this is what I was talking about on the break and retest. See how price kind of came down, came back up to kind of retest the support as resistance. So whenever you break a support or you break a resistance, you want to see price come back to that area and retest it. So if you break through support, you want it to come back. You want to see price come back to this area and retest its resistance to really give you that confirmation. If this was to break above, you would want to see price come back down, retest this resistance as support, and really give you that confirmation. And also, if you are liking the content, if you are liking the information and videos, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, that bell notification, so you can know when we drop another video. Ascending triangle, like I said, this is one of those patterns where you'll have a both straight and diagonal line. So you have a straight line of resistance here, right? So price is hitting this roof, right? Boom, boom, boom. And then we have this diagonal line of support, right? So it's slowly edging up, and then boom, we got our breakout. Bullish flag is just that it really looks like a little flag pattern, right? So you'll see it after proceeding uptrend. You'll see price kind of just stagnate in between 2 diagonal lines before breaking out to the upside, where you really want to look for, once again, break and retest, because those are so important. Bearish flag, you'll see this and proceeding a downtrend, right? So you'll see price has been bearish. Boom, it'll stop, create a little wiggle, and then break back to the downside. I think that's it, which is good. Let's get into some real world examples. All right, let's see. All right, so I've already identified a Head and Shoulders from this week. So, whoa. Boom, I'll do it on a 1 hour. Boom, and if you watch my other videos, I'll show you a little trick, right? So here is a nice Head and Shoulders pattern. What am I looking for here? I could use that tool, but I want to use, where is it? I want to use this one. Okay. Left shoulder, head, neckline, right shoulder, and we see where price goes from there, right? So this is a Head and Shoulders pattern. Boom. Great example of a Head and Shoulders right here. If you don't know about that tool, there you go. It's pretty useful at times. Typically, I just like to draw, but every once in a while, I like to use that. We also have, in this time frame, what I would like to consider a double bottom. If you look here, especially if you look at the line chart, right? So we have price come down. You can either use these as your double bottom, or you can even use this as your double bottom, right? Price is coming to the same area and rejecting from this area. And if you haven't seen our last video, I'll go ahead and notify you. Check out our last video to see a powerful tool that we use sometimes to identify some of these things. Like, let's just use this, right? Just in case you haven't. We'll just go ahead and rebring it here. So go to indicators. If you're on Trandingview.com, and if you go down to technicals, it allows you technicals. Go to patterns. We have things like chart patterns. Like, let's see if we can find double tops. Oh, we can do that. Won't let us do that one. I don't have the paid version. It does it better with candlesticks. I guess it won't let us do that one. Not doing that one today, I guess. So we're going to use our naked eye. There's power in knowing the eye. You could also look here and say triple bottom, one resistance, two, three, or one touch, two touches, three touches, right? Let's see what else we're able to identify. And in the comments, just let me know, what patterns do you like? You know, are you experienced, beginner? You know, what patterns really stick out to you? Do you see a pattern I'm not seeing right now? So go ahead, leave a comment below. You know, let's talk about it. Trying to find some really clean ones that I like. I'm seeing like a lot of, you know, double bottoms, triple bottoms, double top, kind of right here. I want to see if I can find the inverse head and shoulders pattern. Reset chart view. Zoom out a little bit. Let's go to 4 hour. Let's see what we can see on the 4 hour. Okay, so something like this is what I would consider like a little channel, a little small channel, where prices just kind of ranging back and forth between two price zones, right? So kind of have a channel there, have a double bottom here, first, second. We see it's just playing right in between this resistance zone. Let's see what else we have. Another channel here before we had a bullish breakout. Switch that to line chart. We are on a 4 hour, so it's a little different. Let's see how that looks. Yeah. Right. Okay. Nice bullish engulfing pattern here, right? And not seeing a whole lot. I could go to a different market, but you're seeing like the power in some of these. Being able to identify some of these. Let's see if US 30 has anything for us. I forgot US 30's just been ranging here recently. I'm seeing channels. I literally just keep seeing a whole lot of channels, double tops, double bottoms. Not seeing any clean moves I really want to identify. But more of the story is, there's power in understanding and identifying your chart patterns, especially when it comes to live trading and like being in the market as it develops. Ooh, so powerful. I guess we have like a double bottom here. Kind of have like a triple bottom here. 1, 2, 3 touches. So there's power in identifying these. So if you saw something I didn't, let me know. Shout it out. Be like, oh, you missed this. Double bottom, head and shoulders, channel, bullish flag, bullish pennant, triangle pattern. Let me know. All right. And I'll see you guys in the next video.